Good evening, guys. I hope you guys are good. So today we're gonna be doing our weekly analysis. So we're gonna be looking at US 100. We're gonna be looking at GBPUSD and Euro USD. However, this week it seems like we're gonna be heavily focused also on currencies a bit. We're going towards the closing of the year. So I just thought maybe we should try to capitalize as much as we possibly can on as much opportunities as we can, so that at least we close the year on a high note. So let's see what we can get for this whole week. So I think officially I'm gonna give out a date at least, but before the end of this week. When is our course officially gonna be available? I think we are finally done with the final touches for the course. So we're gonna officially announce the date where we're gonna be giving out full course on most things financial market, not to say all things financial markets. With that, before we continue, don't forget our recommended broker is XM. XM, you are able to actually trade over 1,000 CFDs. They have ultra low account with 0.6 pip spread. You can get leverage from 1 is to you can push it up to 1 is to 1,000. For those who are having an appetite for a bigger risk. And it's been a great amazing broker for the past 2 years. For me, I've been using it. And to top it off, I love what they have done with education with regards to trading, because they offer free classes online from morning every Monday to Friday, from morning 6 a.m. up until afternoon 5 p.m. They've also created an office space in Sentin where you guys can go there. Even those who have partnership affiliate program with them can be able to just pop in with their clients to get more lessons, to make sure that we are able to cater for our people going forward. So yeah, now let's get right into it. So we're gonna start with, I think we're gonna start with US 100. I think today I'm gonna be very quick about the analysis, because I think most of the strategies are gonna come out with our course when it comes out, so that you fully understand what is it that we're looking for, so that when we give out analysis like this one, you fully understand. So today, so that we are able to cover the most, we're simply just gonna give out some our usual analysis, a quick analysis, and then we're gonna go into details as soon as we go into our full course. So for now, we're gonna go usually on daily. What we essentially looking for is the overall market direction, to see where we're heading so far. Okay. So here we have it on daily, right? On daily, we had an overall structure which was telling us was still a bit of a down, from where it started, because it was forming higher highs and higher lows, higher highs and higher lows. However, when it got here, it broke into up, but it was still within our downtrend that we had drawn up, right? And then here we had our last touch with a bit of a fake breakout here, but because we had this support structure here which showed us where our strong resistance was at, we managed to see there's a bit of a push here to the downside. So after it failed to break here, we could see, because here it had broken above the trend going downwards, but it fell within the trend again, which it also retested where we had our trend line going downwards in here. So we also, I also like to emphasize on the fact that we always see trends within trends. If you go in a smaller time frame, you'd be able to understand where this trend came from. We're going to be seeing it in a bit now. I wanted us to look at the overall trend first. So we can still agree that we're still long term on a downtrend. However, we have a bit of smaller nyana double bottom here. So we have one, we have two here, but these are below the our support level, which turned into a resistance level. which is the current price where we're at now. You're going to see it when I break it down into smaller time frame. So here, as we're looking at it, we're looking at a possibility of it, if it does continue to break here, it's supposed to at least come and retest here. If it does break here, we're looking for an up until at least 12,900. So we are at the support level now with our first green candle on a daily time frame. This could potentially means we are now looking at official buy opportunities, but we have to wait for it to break above this let me see, this 10,870 level that we are currently at. So going on a smaller time frame, let's go on 4 hours. I don't think I want to still continue doing weekly, at least for now. As much as they kind of give us an overall direction, but most play out do play out with daily time frame and 4 hours, so that we don't end up looking like long-term investors who are here to be making money in the next 5 years. We don't have that large capital for us to be looking at weekly. To be quite honest, we do that because it gives us a sense of security to for us when we do our analysis. But in actual reality, our time frames will always be on daily and lower time frames, because anything on weekly is not going to show us anything that's going to happen currently, but something that could potentially happen in a week or two, which would cloud your judgment with regards to where you're supposed to enter. Hence, every trader would let you know that you're supposed to start with bigger time frame, but also end on lower time frame as well. It's very important. So now that we're actually on 4 hour time frame, we can see here we have already broken above this our previous support level. Currently we're looking at least a retest somewhere here to our previous low. If it does break our previous low from here, it means it would have already broken the overall structure that we had here, to tell us that it's actually a downtrend. If it does pull back, it's going to pull back somewhere around this level. So currently at this moment, we have this support level here. Let me add. So on 4 hours, we have the support level here where it actually closed. It never broke below here. So it's been closing above here. So it's been playing between these 2 points almost the entire Friday for a 12. Yeah, so it's about 24 hours within the space that we're in right here. So I'm not going to dwell too much into it. We can see we're actually hoping to wait for more buy opportunities up to this level. If it does fail to break above here, it means we're going to see if it breaks here, then it should at least go to our previous low. And if it does break our previous low, then we know we have a continuous sell. But if it fails, we'll just retest there as a support level, because this would currently, it's still a support level, so we haven't broken above it. This one is also a support level, considering that we have a previous buy here. But if you look at it, an overall structure for this, right, remember I did say on daily it did actually break above the previous trend line, which we were supposed to see if it was pushing for more up to at least somewhere around these levels or not. So it did show us that it actually tried to go up. It failed. It went back to retest here. So remember, guys, with almost every pair you trade, right, do not chase your trades. Every time you see a breakout, let it play out. Every trend or every trade or every movement supposed to have some sort of a pullback in it. It doesn't matter how long it takes. I think one of the key things that I've learned recently is to always realize that it doesn't matter, even if it shoots up and you miss the trade and it goes up by 5%, it will have a pullback. Wait for the pullback. Wait for the pullback, because some of these things are not even a change in direction. They're just simply pullbacks to continue to go down into the previous level. You look at it this way. Look at it this one. This one tried to push up. It didn't push up. It failed. It pulled back. So if a person was feeling that they missed this trade, they had this opportunity to come and get this one. If they felt they missed this one because it had a small pullback and continued to go up, it came back all the way to give you that trade that you missed probably a week ago or even a month ago. Do you understand that? So every trade always will always have a pullback. Always will always have a pullback. So if we can take account to that, then we will learn to be very patient, to wait for trades to show you the overall direction, the overall structure, so that you are able to spot your entries. Always look for pullbacks. Don't chase trades. Look for pullbacks. So now that we have established that, we see that here we already have our first trade, right? If it continues to have, so this would be our small pullback. If you look at it from a smaller time frame, you'd be able to see that it's actually a big movement. So hence we have a day where this was just between these two, between this support and resistance level, right? So we're waiting to see, are we breaking above to go retest somewhere around this level? So this is where our first pullback would be at. Or if it's going to continue to go up all the way there, then it might give us the first support here. So it might give us a retest to continue to go up. But if it goes up here, our first pullback, we have to start looking for our first pullback from here. That's if it wants to continue to go down. But if it does give us a pullback from here, we know definitely it's going to be a sell, because it would have meant that it broke every structure that it had previously to push for more down. Now that we are on 4 hours, we're going to close it on 1 hour. I feel that sometimes we overcomplicate things, the way we look at the market and the structures and how we want to find confirmations and all of those things. Sometimes we just have to keep it as simple, as clean as possible. If you don't find anything that says, hey, this is a guarantee buy, don't take it. So we have our first touch here, right? Now that we have it in 1 hour, we have our first touch here. We saw that it failed to go. So let's go from this one. We had our first touch here. This was on Thursday, 3 November, right? 2022. So we had this. We managed to skip the whole day, it not being able to break above here, right? Cool. The next logical thing that will tell you is that it failed to go here. So it meant we are supposed to see some push up from here. On Friday, this was Friday, then we started seeing some push up here. Even at our retest, after they've announced our it was NFP, after they've made NFP announcement, it only went down to just support here, and then it pushed more back up. It kept on failing to break here. It kept on failing to also break here. So it was just struggling to go through these 2 points. Now that you have it in 1 hour, you are now able to see it. Now we are at the resistance level. So if you want to look for sell opportunities, this area here would be the perfect time. It will help you to decide. And then once it gets here, you know your first TP should be here. And then once it gets here, you decide whether you're gonna see the momentum, how it looks, your confirmation, your confluences, if it's gonna continue to go down. If you see big candles following through after this, then you know it's gonna push down. But you wait for it. So I usually advise people on Monday to wait for the Asian session to complete, so that you're able to see the momentum, the kind of type of candles that you have, to see the overall structure, how is it moving, and all of that, so that you're able to determine the overall direction. So now that we have established that, okay. Now that we have established that, we're going to wait for this candle to complete. So we're going to see when it opens, does it open lower? But it has a bit of rejection here. So because of this, I still think we might be seeing a possible sell. If not a bigger sell than we previously had, and then might just be just coming here to test for the last time before it goes back all the way up here to somewhere around these levels. So let's look out for that for tomorrow. Let's go into GBPUSD very quick. Also, I think I also wanted to add some analysis in In trading view, I prefer trading view. Let me see if it will allow me to quickly share. I meant to say MetaTrader. Let's do GBP USD in MetaTrader, right, to mix it up a little bit, because I did say I'm moving back into using I'm going back into using MetaTrader because I get my sniper entries and cool entries with this than I do with TradingView. I think one thing I hate about it is um, how it shrinks the entire screen and how I'm supposed to try to navigate around it. However, I'll also admit TradingView has some cool tools, especially drawing tools, being able to draw those head and shoulders and all of those things. They're quite easier to draw there. However, I feel this one makes things easier for me because I'm not a person to look at your head and shoulders and whatever, because I feel this way it's much clearer. However, you still do get those head and shoulders. So market structure is something that I still respect and use, despite me pointing it out on the chat, especially with MetaTrader. So now that we're here, GBPUSD, right? As we can see that we had, let's go on daily time frame. So on daily time frame, we're seeing that we've had this downtrend for the longest time. So there's been a couple of changes to its structure. So I was supposed to actually add another trend line here, but because of some couple of few changes and how it moved, I think I'm gonna let it go because I want us to focus on a current price that we are currently having, right? As we can see now, it actually broke. It was giving us a higher highs, a higher lows, higher highs, a higher lows, and then eventually here it gave us the biggest drop ever. This I think was about 2%. Don't forget we are on a daily time frame. And then it pushed all the way up because it failed to break here. So it actually went, and then sellers were coming in strong, and then the buyers were like, we're not having it, you guys have been having fun for some time, so we're going to push this price up all the way there. So as you can see, it was actually supporting the entire structure to say all the follow-up candles were big, engulfing beautiful candles. Okay, if you see it on a smaller time frame, you'd be able to see the engulfing candles within these candles, as it was just killing this one from the previous candles they've had. So with that, we saw a bit of push up, but once it got here, it had a bit of a fake breakout. It almost have the same structure as US 100 as well, with this bit of a fake breakout here. But also coming back from this, it had a bit of a support to push for some more up. It also failed to break, it went down some more. But after this one, as you can see, it was forming a new support level. So we're gonna see it on a smaller time frame as it was forming new support levels from this pullback we had here. Don't forget, guys, I did say if you ever go up all the way with a candle, don't forget it will definitely have pullbacks, especially in the smaller time frames, because in bigger time frames you hardly get the pullbacks that I'm talking about because you can't see them. So you only get to see them mostly in smaller time frames. And then now that we have it here, let's look at it. See, it's been beautiful from day one. So now that you look at it from this way, right, you had this drop all the way, then you managed to get this one pushing all the way up here. We thought, okay, we might have missed this buy, but it managed to give us a bit of a pullback, almost to the previous low, for us to be able to ride on this because it closed above the previous trend line. So it meant that we were still pushing for more up here. And then it got here, we gave us a bit of a small, because there was some sort of a resistance here, but a very small resistance now that we're actually in 4 hours. This was a sign for us that it was still going to push for some more up. So it went all the way up there. So this is the structure that I was telling you about, that is going to show you how it was having small pullbacks so that it can be able to continue to go up. So this was the big pullback that we had after it pushed all the way to the previous high that we've had since this big drop. So usually if you look at your swing highs and your swing lows, they would be able to tell you an area where you're most likely to get the pullback from. Pullbacks hardly happens within the small movement patterns. They usually happen within the big movement patterns. So hence your market structure, especially on a bigger time frame, is important so that you are able to spot those opportunities on a smaller time frame. So now that we have this, it already broke from previous lows. So it means now we have this as a very strong support level. So it means we might be looking at this overall going all the way up there to our previous. Don't forget we are now on 4 hours. Surely we can have this here. I like breaking it down to the smallest pieces, man, so that at least we get a clearer picture. So even if we want to scalp it, we are able to do that. So we're going to see it in 1 hour now that I've put my trend lines around our support and resistance level, right? So once it breaks here, we're going to have to see if this is a pullback for it to continue to go down, at least to close this here, to retest somewhere around this level so that it continues to go up all the way to at least here. Or it could continue to push up to here, pull back up to this level, and then push back up there. So, but don't forget, the most important thing is us being able to wait. So currently on US 100, we know that we are at the support level. We're waiting for buy opportunities. If we want to take sell, our sell would have to happen at opening, as we can already see that we had a bit of a resistance. With this one on GBPUSD, currently on 4 hours, is showing us that we have a strong uptrend that currently formed from our previous trades. However, it broke that uptrend. It went now telling us that this could potentially be a sell long term, but we're going to have to wait. If it does break above this level and it gives us that means this would now have to be our next target for our first buy. And then from here, we're going to see if it continues to go up, if it breaks, or if it's going to come here. But don't forget, the important part is always looking for pullbacks. So once it gets here, I'm not going to be taking any buy. I'm going to wait for a pullback for me to continue with it going upwards. But we're going to have to wait to see, does it break here? And if it does, how's the momentum? How's the momentum like? Let's go on 1 hour now, wrapping it up. Beautiful. As you can see it, very clear here, right? So now that we have the structure broken here, we can already see we have some sort of a support on top of this structure right here, telling us that we are still looking at a strong buy movement to at least our previous high here, where it started rejecting. But bear in mind, there's some sort of resistance somewhere around this level. So let's take it to consideration during the Asian session. So you could potentially take a small buy from here to here before continuing to go up with it. So let's wait for the Asian session to see how we actually opening here. So with GBP USD, I don't think there's a clear entry opportunity, or there's a clear opportunity for this week. So we're gonna wait for it to form at least structure, telling us it's going to retest here or support here to go up. So we're waiting for a support level or resistance level, because currently at this moment it's almost like it's somewhere in the middle. And then lastly, we're gonna go into Euro USD. It's 24 minutes into this thing, guys. I don't know, should I go into Euro USD? Okay, but now that I'm already here, it's fine. With Euro USD, I'm sure you guys can see I've had other things. I think it was when it was still up there. Euro USD, I think I gave up on it somewhere along the way during the year. Maybe because I felt it wasn't giving me the results I wanted. But one thing I've learned recently is that the way I trade, because I'm solely focusing on structure, it applies on any pair, and I've seen great results the way I've been trading recently. So yes, guys, back to just putting in my trend lines. We are now back on daily time frame with Euro USD. We're going to be looking for our support levels and our resistance levels. As we can see here, we have this. Okay, I think I'm not going to try to complicate this very much. I think it's very straightforward. So one of the key things also I wanted to emphasize is we need to be very conscious of which time frame is influencing the overall direction, right? We have our daily, we have our 4 hours, we have our 1 hour. Usually, if structure is hard to form in 1 hour, go look at it in 4 hours. If it's hard to form in 4 hours, go for daily. If it's hard to form in daily, then only then can you go for weekly, so that you get something as clean as this one. As you see, this was a push up, got here, push down, got here, pushed up, got here, pushed down, got here. Also now pushing for more up. Very, very straightforward, very clean, easy to spot. You are able to see where your next trade could potentially be at, and where your potential exit could potentially be at. So I'm loving this one because it's very straightforward. So we're going to wait for this one to get somewhere around here to start looking for sell opportunities. So if we look at it from this perspective, we're looking at, because currently now it's giving us the impression that it's a buy, because we have a lower low, higher a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and now we're expecting to at least get a higher high before anything else. Once we get here, we know we are somewhere around our resistance level. We're going to see if it continues to push up to at least this level. If it doesn't, then it means we're going to see some push down. If it breaks here, it means now this is officially a sell, breaking previous highs. For us to continue to get into sell opportunities, we're going to wait for it to have a pullback somewhere around this level to continue to go down with it. So let's wait again for Asian session to see if it breaks this level or not. And then we're going on 4 hours. On 4 hours is much clearer. It meant it's been pushing up. It's been pushing up. Once it gets here, it's been pushing up. Even here, I think because of NFP, it had a bit of a fake breakout here for sell. So a lot of people might have jumped in for sell here, and then it had a beautiful engulfing candle showing us that the momentum is very strong for the buy. So now currently we're still looking at these candles to say that we've been on a beautiful buy trend. So we're going to wait for this candle structure to complete. Whether when it gets here, we're going to start seeing some sort of resistance, or we're going to be pushing for a bit of more up. So with Euro USD, in fact, I feel that we have a bit of early opportunities. So we can start looking for at least small sells for at least a pushback to here, pull back to here, so that it continues to go up all the way here, because it shows you that it's a very beautiful structure. Even if it fails to go up there, it's going to come back to just get a strong momentum and then pushes back up all the way. So here we're waiting to see our first resistance. We're going to take our first buy here to continue to go all the way up here, but we're going to wait for the Asian session to see what it has. Now on 4 hours, I don't think I even need to add more candles on top of this, right? As we can see here, we had this. Eh, guys, now magic is happening here. But anyway, I wanted to show you this. Good. Even if we look at this 3 touches, 1, 2, 3, or we're looking at this one as part of the touch because it already touched here. So if this didn't happen here, I would say something else. So here's what we have, because we had this big fake breakout here, and then it pushed all the way up. So you see, it was a big rejection. so it meant it was going for a sell, and indeed it was a beautiful sell. And then after this breakout here showed us, but as you can see, the candles, guys, are very important to show you the momentum. As you can see, the momentum there was starting to slow down. As you can see here, we started seeing green candles coming on board. It meant buyers are now coming to join in. We had our first big engulfing candle here, killing all the small ones, which showed us that we still had a strong buy, because even this drop, but this one was not an engulfing candle, so you can say it was just a pullback for it to be able to continue to go up. So had you taken your first buy here, as you can see, it was already a support level, a new support level, then you would have been able to be inside a beautiful trade, pushing all the way upwards, all the way upwards. So we're gonna have to look at this one on a 1 hour time frame. Unlike 4 hours, we can still see the 4 hours had beautiful big engulfing candles, but the 1 hour, they're a bit choppy. It's still fine because it's still showing us that there's a still strong buy here. So what we can look for here as an opportunity for entry is a small sell, as a pullback, to continue to go up, at least to retest somewhere here, or to go all the way. So you see on smaller time frame, you get to see how big those movements are, that we usually see them very small on bigger time frame. So it should be pushing up all the way to 1.00940. So we're gonna wait for market to open in the morning and see what we have. And yeah, so with GBP USD, we don't have a very direct movement. On Euro USD and US 100, we see a potential pullback with sell for long-term up, because they broke the previous lows that we've had, and they are currently at support level. So we're gonna see how's our push up gonna go like. And then with GBP USD, we're gonna wait out for it to form a new structure, to form everything, and then we're gonna see from there how it's gonna play out. I think I might add Bitcoin this week. I might add a couple of few trades, because I think I might also scalp a bit on a couple of few trades, but I'll keep you guys posted as the week goes by. But I'm gonna be active for the whole week, this coming week, especially considering that we're going towards the launch of our full course on this pairs. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed the session today. I tried to keep it short, but it still went on 32 minutes. I guess we had a bit of more to talk about. If you guys got any questions, hit me up. If you guys got suggestions, also hit me up, inbox me, and yeah, enjoy. Let's make money this week, guys. Thank you.